let's talk about research. There are incredible articles in the Journal of Endodontics, International Endodontic Journals, OOO, and many other peer-reviewed journals about comparing or analyzing endodontic instruments. This particular article came in 2009, and they used this specific jig to compare these instruments. And since 2009, many articles has based their research study on this jig. And this is the jig that we are going to talk about, because this is the jig that we use to test WaveOne Gold. First, this incredible endodontist is a combined effort from 3 universities, the main in Spain, in Florida, and in New York. And what they have done is to test the cyclic fatigue of a single file system, WaveOne Gold. This is the methodology. They use 20 instruments at a time. They use the e-motor from Dentsply. Then they use this standardized jig that has 45, 60, and 90-degree curvature. The test was done on the 45-degree angulation of WaveOne Gold, penetrating at 23.5 millimeters because of the rubber stop, which is a little larger than half a millimeter. And then the statistical analysis was done applying the Crisp's test. These are the photos of the instrument machine and the stainless steel jig, as you can see here. And I'm showing you right now the last seconds of the cyclic fatigue test. And why the last seconds of the cyclic fatigue test? Because that's how long it took this instrument to fail on the cyclic fatigue. These are the numbers of the cyclic fatigue test. This is the maximum load in newtons that they apply until the instrument failed. And when they compare WaveOne Gold to WaveOne, a two-way ANCOVA was conducted to determine a statistical significant difference between WaveOne and WaveOne Gold on the degrees of rotation until fracture. There is a significant effect of file type on degrees of rotation until fracture after controlling for a file's flexibility and mass. WaveOne Gold demonstrated superiority cyclic fatigue in a 17.5% over WaveOne. Also, they did the study on flexibility of WaveOne Gold. They applied the same methodology because we need that jig to test the strength that you need to take the file all the way down. And also they apply a descriptive test for the statistical analysis. Here are the results, the rotation in degrees and also the amount of force in torques per gram per centimeter. And it was important to also analyze the 3 millimeters. Why? Because all these incredible researchers have noticed when they compare WaveOne Gold with many rotary systems or reciprocating systems, that the discrepancy, the tremendous discrepancy that there was in some of them. So they measure all the D3s from D1, D2, and D3 on all the other files, and it's obvious, as you can see in this box, the tremendous difference between the 3 files. The researchers has expressed to me that in this case, the 3 files were completely different in D3. So the results of WaveOne Gold compared with WaveOne, a two-way ANCOVA was conducted to determine a statistical significant difference between WaveOne and WaveOne Gold on force of torsion. There is a significant effect of file type by force of torsion after controlling for a file rotation and torque. WaveOne Gold demonstrated a superiority resistance to fracture in 53% more than WaveOne. Now, another test, which is the bending test. They took 10 files from WaveOne Gold primary, a machine that has been built by my Leffer in the manufacturing plant, that following ISO norm 3630, the file was clamped again in the first 3 millimeters and bent up to 90 degrees. Then they calculate the force of flexion and the residual angle that it returns to. And for WaveOne Gold, they apply a descriptive test. Here we can see how this test is done. The file is clamped in the very first 3 millimeters, then it's pushed to 90 degrees, and then they let the file come back to a residual bending position. Here are the results of the force of flexion and also the residual angle that ends up with WaveOne Gold. So the results of the bending test, a two-way ANCOVA was conducted to determine a statistically significant difference between WaveOne and WaveOne Gold on force of flexion. There is a significant effect of file type by force of flexion after controlling for a file flexibility and mass. WaveOne Gold demonstrated a superior force of flexion of 87.5% and a tremendous 147% in the residual angle. The performance of this instrument through an incredible technology, which is a micro CT. You have seen how well this instrument will prepare the canals without procedural errors. I'm convinced that you are going to incorporate this instrument in your armamentarium. I'm pretty sure that you are going to use this instrument very, very soon.